Okay, so today we are going to do a story time video because over this past weekend I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, I think. Hold on. Ken, Gatlinburg is in Tennessee, right? Yeah, I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So over the weekend, I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee with Ken and a couple of our friends, and some crazy ass freaking shit happened, and I just wanted to tell you guys, which I've actually been hardcore considering making this story time video just because one of our friends is who it's about, and so I feel really bad for like saying this on the internet and like putting it on the internet, but Ken said he didn't care, and I didn't actually ask the guy because I'm not gonna say his name and he doesn't watch my stupid videos anyways, but I think that it's worthwhile to make this video because it's just so freaking hilarious, and like it's not something that just happens to everyday people all the time, and it's just a good story, so why not tell the internet about it, right? Thanks for agreeing with me, guys. You're so amazing. I love you so much. Okay, so start the story time. We went to Gatlinburg, right? And we were only gonna stay 2 nights, and basically it was a 3-day, 2-night thing. But we ended up getting there like really late whenever we actually arrived. We got there like 11. So the first night we didn't do that much, but we went to bed, we woke up the next day, and we had the whole day to like do whatever we wanted. And so Gatlinburg is like this place where you can just do an insane amount of stuff, but it's like adult activities, a lot of them anyway. Or at least they're activities that adults can get away with doing and not be like weird. Like for instance, if an adult went and played on a jungle gym at the local park, that would be weird. But this is not weird. And one of those things is moonshine tasting, which to me that's like the weirdest thing ever. Like who goes to a city and expects to be able to go to someplace? Like I've heard of wine tasting but not moonshine tasting. And just as a side note, moonshine does not smell good, and a moonshine tasting place is like a whole building just filled with moonshine, and it spills like every 5 minutes because they're literally pouring them in these little like communion cups, and it reeks. You can literally smell the moonshine from a block away. And me being a non-drinker, like I mean I drink alcohol, but like I don't drink to get drunk like hardly ever. I've never been a drinker, and as I've gotten older it's been like less and less frequent and less like hardcore drinking. I just don't find it appealing or even fun, really. It's just never fun. Like it makes you sick, and I don't find the joy in it. Like I don't think that it is worth it to me to get sick and then feel like crap just to lose all of your worries for the day. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. But we went to the moonshine tasting places, and there was 2 there, and each one you get like about 8 or 9 communion cups, so they're like this big, but 2 of them is probably a full shot, or at least almost a full shot. So you get 8 or 9 half shots, and they end up being like a couple shots at least. And I only took maybe 3 or 4 at each one of these places. And the whole day I never felt any kind of drunk like whatsoever. So we went to the first moonshine place, and all 3 of them took the shots, and I just took like a couple of them just to like taste them, even though they were totally nasty, but whatever. You only live once, right? YOLO. So we went to the moonshine place, we went out to a bunch of other stuff, and then we went to lunch. And while we were at lunch, we're gonna call him Tommy. So that's not his real name, but Tommy is the character of this story. So Tommy gets 2 entire freaking glass mugs that were basically pitchers. Like they were, I wanna say like 62 ounce or something. Like it was insane, but they were this tall and like this big around. They were freaking pitchers, okay? He drinks 2 of those while we're sitting at lunch. And Ken drank 1, but Ken drinks that much almost every time that he like sits down at a restaurant. And these were sizably larger than normal large beers at any place, because that's just what these people sold at this restaurant. And so we sat down at lunch, he drank 2 of those, Tommy did, and then we went walking the strip some more. We ended up going to a second moonshine tasting place. Now it was a totally different building, and they ended up drinking drinking all of them. And I think that one, it was at least 8 or 9, maybe a couple more. I'm not really sure. So it added up to at least like 4 shots. Then after we went to that place, we walked around to a couple other things, and then we went to a bar. And by this time, it was 6 in the afternoon. So we're at the bar, and we walk in. Ken and Tommy both sit down at the bar. They are getting drinks, and me and the girl that we were with were sitting down next to them and stuff. And then 5-10 minutes later, we're talking to Tommy. He's like, hey, can I have another beer? The bartender's like, yeah, sure. And this is his 4th beer that he's starting on, and it's been like 10-15 minutes. And we're just like, holy crap, Tommy, like, stop drinking so much. By then, I had only had like a couple shots maybe throughout the day, and then the bartender at this specific bar, which we stayed at the bar for probably like an hour, maybe a little bit longer, but she wanted me to drink. So I was like, what the hell? I'll just drink 1 drink. And I ended up getting an upside down pineapple cake or whatever. It's like a drink, but that's what I had. And then I'm sitting over here, and we're starting to play pool because the guys wanted to play pool. So I was like, okay, I'll play pool with you guys. And I'm like getting ready to play pool, and Ken hits once and Tommy hits once, and then it's my turn, and then the girl that we're with, she hits once. Then Tommy and Ken are just gone. Me and the girl are like, what the hell? What are we doing? Are we just waiting? So I ended up playing and hitting all of the balls into the holes by myself because she didn't really want to play, and I was just bored. Like, I didn't have anything else to do. And they just walked off and were doing something. I don't even know. But they come back, and I can very obviously tell that Tommy is like extremely intoxicated. And he tends to do this a lot. He gets really intoxicated, and then he's like, oh, well, I'm just going to engorge myself in alcohol and drink as much as I possibly can. And I'm just sitting over here like, great, this is gonna be such a fun time, because like, I'm not drunk, and the other 2 were drinking also, but I was the only one that was pretty much like completely sober. And so then I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and waiting for him to just stop drinking. And then the girl that we were with, she was like, I want to do a shot. Tommy, you have to do a shot with me. Okay, so then Tommy and the girl go over to the bar, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, no, don't do this, like, don't, because he was already so intoxicated. But Ken and the girl both, they just didn't care. So they were too drunk really to like notice or think about it. So by this time, he was already really wobbly, and he was like, I don't want to drink this shot. And she was like, drink it, drink it. And so then they drank it, and then he was just like, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. And so he could barely walk and everything, and we were all hungry, so we walked back to this restaurant that was right across the street from our hotel, Logans Roadhouse. And we're sitting down at Logans Roadhouse, and Tommy's sitting there not looking good. Like, he barely got back to the restaurant. We were still looking at the menus, we hadn't ordered yet, and he's just like, I'm not doing good, I have to go to the bathroom. Ken's like, okay, go to the bathroom, we'll be here. And I was like, Ken, come on, you need to go help your friend. But he was just like, oh, it's fine, he's fine. So then this guy comes to our table, and he's like, just letting you know, your buddy is in the bathroom, and I'm pretty sure he's puking. And so then Ken finally gets up, and he walks over to the bathroom, and he meets Tommy on the way back to the table, and Tommy is being escorted by this gigantic freaking employee at Logans Roadhouse. And he's like, dude, this guy was passed out on the floor in the bathroom, not awake. And so then Ken's like, great. And Tommy's like, no, I'm fine, everything's fine. So then we're all like, great. And so we hadn't even ordered. He comes back and he sits down. We order our food. Tommy's still not doing anything like menu, ordering anything. He's just sitting there, obviously done for the day. And this is at 7 something, 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so it's not late. This is early in our book. So we're sitting at the restaurant, and then he literally gets up and he goes, and then he's just like gone. And I was like, Ken, get him, like, go now, get him. And Ken's like, oh, okay. And Tommy's over here like full on puking, like almost in his hand. So the bathrooms, which he had already been to, right? So he knew exactly where they were. The bathrooms are on this wall at the end of the aisle. And the fire escape door, which is right here. This is the bathrooms, this is the fire escape. You'll never guess which one he goes out of. So he bursts out of the fire escape, and Ken's like, oh no, I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I don't know this guy. And he doesn't even follow him. So Tommy's outside, and the whole restaurant is like, wee, 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 wee. Me and the the girl are just sitting there at the table like, what is that noise? What is going on? And so then, come to find out, I don't even know, I think like 4 different people, including 3 employees and 1 just random ass customer, comes to our table and is like, just wanted to let you know, your buddy just went out to fire escape and they're having to get the manager to turn off the alarms because he set off the alarms. And we were like, oh, thanks, great to know. Like by the 4th person, we were just like, yeah, we know, thanks. Bye. And then, after 4 people have came over here and told us, the manager walks up to our table and is like, oh, just letting you know, your buddy just blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, we know. Ken's after it, like, we know. He's like, well, I just needed to let you guys know that if you let him come back inside, I'm going to have to call the cops. And we're like, oh, great, like, we don't know where they are. Like, I don't think they're coming back, but who knows? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. So then I follow the manager outside the fire escape door because I don't know where Ken is and I don't know where Tommy is, and the girl's just sitting at the table, and I was like, just take care of our food or something, I don't know. And so I'm following them, and then of course they're nowhere to be seen once we get out the back door. So then he has to let me back in and he has to walk around, and then I don't even know, like so much stuff. And so finally Ken gets a hold of me on the phone and he's like, hey, I'm coming back to get the hotel key, and then me and Tommy are going to go back to the hotel. Can you just get my food and bring it to me? And I was like, great, now I'm gonna have to pay for all this stuff. I don't want to pay for it. And so then Ken takes Tommy to the hotel, sits him down on the bench behind the elevators, and he's like, just sit here, we're almost to the hotel room. And he turns around to push the button and then turns back around and Tommy is puking all over our lobby floor at our hotel. And Ken's just like, oh my god. So he grabs this trash can, it's like right next to the elevators. He's like, Tommy, puke in this. And Tommy's just like, bleh, all over the floor, like not even paying any attention to Ken. And Ken was just like, oh my god, like stop puking on the floor. And so then finally the hotel people come over and they're like, it's all right, we got this, it happens, man, it's fine. And Ken's like, I can't even walk in the lobby anymore, like this is mortifying, blah blah blah. And we're just like, Ken, you better come back here and pay for this food, like what the hell. And so then Tommy proceeds to go upstairs and Ken's sitting there with Tommy and he's trying to get him like taken care of, right? And so he gets him taken care of, he sits him in the bathroom, makes sure he's okay, makes sure he has water, and then he comes back to the hotel because he has to pay because he had a gift card, and that was the whole reason why we went there. And so then me and the girl and Ken all eat our food, and we try to eat it really fast, and then we ask for a to-go order for Tommy so that way he would have food. And so we're eating our food and we get all of our to-go food ready and we're leaving the restaurant, and we get back to our hotel and Tommy is still sitting in the bathroom when we get back. Literally, we had been gone for at least 30 minutes, probably more than that, and he's still in the bathroom. So Ken's like, oh my god, are you dead? Like, Tommy, are you okay? Are you okay? And so then Tommy's like, I'm fine, man, it's okay, like I'm coming out, I'm just sitting in here, like I'm okay. So then we're in the hotel room for like a good 25 minutes and we're just sitting there waiting for him to come out. Finally walks out and he's like drenched. It literally looks like he's just been baking outside in 400-degree weather and like soaking himself all day, just drenched in sweat, and it's disgusting. He was so solid soaked wet. It was just so like, oh my god, please Tommy, take a shower. And he was about ready to sit down with the girl and lay down in bed with her, and I was just like, Tommy, like no, you have to go take a shower, like go take a shower. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And I'm like, Ken, get your friend, like make sure he takes a shower. So he stands up and he's trying to help him, and he's like, Tommy, oh my god, you reek, you have to take a shower. And so then Tommy is like, okay, I guess I can take a shower. And then he walks back into the bathroom and he's in there for like 5 minutes and he's like, you just need to make sure that I have clean clothes. So Ken gets all of Tommy's clean clothes and takes it over to the door. He's like, Tommy, please open the door so I can give you your clean clothes. And Tommy proceeds to open the door. He goes, I don't know how to work the shower. And this is the second time that this kid has taken a shower in our hotel room. So like, he should have no problem working the shower, right? No, definitely not. He definitely had a problem. So Ken's like, okay man, I'll help you. He reaches in, takes a step in, and unbeknownst to Ken, Tommy had puked all over over the bathroom floor. So Ken reached in to help him with the shower and stepped right in a giant pile of puke. And he's like, oh man. And I was just like, oh my God, what happened? And I just knew it. I knew there was puke all over the floor, and I was like, great. Paige isn't getting her shower, is she? I really wanted to take a damn shower, but whatever, okay. So then Ken's like, dude, what the hell? And Tommy's like, I'll clean it up. I'll clean it up. It's fine, it's fine. And Ken's like, yeah, I know you're gonna clean it up because that's disgusting and I'm not cleaning it up. And Tommy's like, okay, it's fine, I'll clean it up. So Tommy proceeds to do whatever in the shower, and then the next morning whenever we wake up and Tommy is laying in bed and he literally has the same dirty clothes on that he had on before he took a shower. I honestly don't think that he was taking a shower, but we went into the bathroom and he had cleaned up the puke off of the floor in his drunkenness state with a towel. So he just like slopped it all around, and all of the chunks of his puke were still on the floor, and it was disgusting. And then he had taken the puke towel and put it over the top of the shower curtain. And me and Ken's speaker, we have like this speaker that's made for like shower, like it's waterproof and it is a Bluetooth speaker, and we had that hanging on top of the shower curtain. He put that towel, the puke towel, over the top of the speaker, and we were just like, oh, gross. So then we were looking around the bathroom and he had taken the stopper and closed the stopper. The bottom of the shower was full of water and there was like puke floating around in it. So I don't know what the hell he did, but he either took a shower and then like caught the shower while he was taking it, because it was only like this much water, so he must not have taken a very long shower if he took one at all. And then he still was wearing his gross ass clothes, so I don't know what the hell. I don't know. We just don't know. He might have taken a shower, but he woke up the next morning and he's like, man, I don't remember any of that stuff after the restaurant, like none of it. I'm just like complete blank. And we were like, yeah, maybe next time you won't drink so much. Don't you think that sounds like a good idea, Tommy? And so that is how that ended, and we ended up leaving that day. So made for a good story, right? That's all I gotta say about it. But thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you, and I love you. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you liked it, because that's how you show your support, right? And especially don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos at least once a week. I try to put out more than that, but sometimes my videos are just like meh, and I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I put out a video this week. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I put out 3 videos this week and they're all freaking amazing and I love them all, but I'm not good at scheduling. I really just need to like set a day and just have that day to video and edit, and yeah, but it's really hard. I suck. I know. I'm sorry. But I love you guys and thank you so much for watching. Bye! And they both have completely different meanings, different pronunciations, spelled exactly the same way. It's like, really? Why do we need these? But it's just kind of one of those things that us people who speak English have to just deal with.